Forgive my parents. I'm outside doing some yard work, but I had to come out here and speak on the Carly Russell situation pertaining to not her per se, but those who are saying, I hope she get the help she needs, right? Um, Sometimes it's not about getting the help you need, but getting the consequences you deserve. This generation, and I'm talking about her generation, not my generation, because my mama come up there and whoop my ass. My mama would have took me to the police station, probably whooped my ass in front of the police station, and turned me in. Because one thing my family don't play about is embarrassing them. Period. But this generation has become masterminds at finding loopholes and avoiding accountability to the point where we coddle them so greatly. Like they use certain things like stress and depression and mental health, which are real things, but they weaponize it to the point where they use it for their advantage, and that's not okay. Sometimes it's just flat out poor decision making and your ability to avoid consequences that have you in a situation to make dumb ass decisions. Period.
So yeah. And we're back. We're back. I took a little break I don't think I went live last week, but I believe it was very, very busy. It was a lot going on. Everybody was having their convocations and conventions and everything else. So I'm glad to be back. I hope everybody enjoyed their week. I did watch quite a bit of church last week. I did watch a bit of church last week. It was very amazing to see some of my constituents play, hearing some preaching, good preaching, some controversial preaching that I won't cover today. That'll be next week. But yeah, it was good to see everybody. I think PAW was in theirs. I know Pilgrim was in theirs. There was a couple of others that had their convention. Yeah. So anyway, everybody's been wondering when I was going to do commentary on this Carly Russell thing. And I waited. I really did wait. I really did wait. I wanted to wait to see what was going to transpire with this thing because I try not to, when it's an open case, I try not to get involved until it's a situation where I need to speak or you're asking me to speak. But I like to try to get the evidence. I like to try to make sure I'm having all of the information, or at least as much as possible. And so I sat back and watched, and I watched, and I watched, and I watched. Then more time passed, and I started to say, this is starting to get very interesting because this story is not adding up. Now, I took forensic science in college. In my undergrad, I took it. So I do know some things. I do know how they go about collecting evidence. I do know how they go about, their daily routine, gathering information. That part I do know. And so me knowing that, I knew it was going to take some time with this particular case. And I know how they are. Now, let me say this. Whenever you have the FBI, the marshals, and everybody else involved, there's going to be a considerable amount of resources. And if there are any issues with the case or whatever, they're going to find it. Once I saw the FBI was in it, I said, oh God, I please God. I mean, I don't want anything to happen to anybody, but I'm like, please God, don't let this be another Jussie situation. But I was wrong, because with this situation, it was always asked, was this a hoax? Was this another situation? Was this yet another situation where somebody told a story and we are here? So saw this today, and let this bless you.
That I have talked to and received a statement from Mr. Emery Anthony, attorney for Carly Russell. Mr. Anthony has scheduled a meeting for Carly to meet with investigators early this afternoon, but then I received an email stating that a statement was being provided by him on her behalf. Mr. Anthony asked that I read the statement in its entirety, which I will do now. My client has given me permission to make the following statement on her behalf. There was no kidnapping on Thursday, July 13th, 2023. My client did not see a baby on the side of the road. My client did not leave the Hoover area when she was identified as a missing person. My client did not have any help in this incident, but this was a single act done by herself. My client was not with anyone or any hotel with anyone from the time she was missing. My client apologizes for her actions to this community, the volunteers who were searching for her, to the Hoover Police Department and other agencies as well, as to her friends and family. We ask for your prayers for Carly as she addresses her issues and attempts to move forward, understanding that she made a mistake in this matter. Carly, again, ask for your forgiveness and prayers. We have a meeting scheduled with Mr. Anthony to further discuss this case.
No need. So, turns out the whole thing was a lie. You can't make this up. And so my problem, everybody's saying, oh, well, you should pray for her. You should give her forgiveness. I mean, she didn't offend me. So there's no reason for me to forgive. But I will say this, and then we're going to move on. This is the one thing I will say about it. For those of you who are saying you should forgive and just summarily dismiss this thing, right? This is what I will say. Women that do things like this, and because men, we can't get away with it, but these same types of women are the same ones that say, oh, he RP3'd me. And then the man is usually arrested, fingerprinted, his face is plastered everywhere. He loses all sorts of notoriety. He loses endorsements. He loses his job. He loses his credibility within his community. Everybody's looking at him sideways with just the accusation. Because you're mad at him, you say he RP3'd you. That's the way you get back at him. And then it's the same type of woman that would say, oh, this is your baby. Wait like 15 years, and then the evidence shows that he's not. That's why I'm not saying I don't forgive or I'm not going to forgive. I mean, it's nothing for me to forgive. She had no transgression against me. But forgive me because I'm like, this is what some of you may do. Well, not some of you, but some of these women, they will say, make up these outlandish stories. And it could be potentially dangerous. And that's why I'm like, with this whole thing, there has to be some level of accountability here. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the law there or how this is going to play out. So I can't tell you if she's going to be arrested or if it's going to be a court case. But what I will say is somebody should pay for this because you actually had this whole world. Once it became a story on CNN and FBI and the marshals and the Secret Service and everybody else got into it, it's got to be some level of accountability. It's got to be. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Okay, well, let's move on. So here's another thing that's been happening. I saw this picture today. It's been floating around the internet. Everybody's saying, oh, this is not Jamie Foxx. Now, we know Jamie Foxx. We are not clear of what he was battling. We're hearing numerous things. But he left a video, and I actually saw the video, and where he was talking about, putting the record straight. Now, I did notice that in that video. What up, D? I did notice in the video, he actually looked different. I did say that. But I'm also understanding how lighting works, how different angles work. I understand that thing, even a little time that I've been doing this. I understand that the lighting may be different or whatever. And he's been sick. Now, I don't know if any of you have had any injuries or anything that made you that sick where you would lose weight. But let me tell you, depending on the injury, like I know someone, and I'm not going to name their name, but when they were sick, when I saw them again, they looked totally different. I mean, their hair was all white. They looked skinnier. They looked darker. I mean, things do happen. Illnesses do take a toll on you. And so I can't sit here and say, I'm not going to go. Some of y'all wild. You say, oh, he's been cloned. I don't think, okay, me being in science, I'm a science major. Even though I'm in computers, I still understand how science works. I don't really think we're at that point where they can clone full human beings and they can make appearances and everything. Now, you can say, well, it was AI. It's not that good yet, y'all. It's not that point where they can actually put a person there and push them off as real. We can stop with the conspiracy theory. Some of us, we look like we're some quack jobs. And I'm not the person to discredit anybody's opinion. I'm the kind of person, I respect everybody's opinion, but some of these opinions have been very, very, very wild, to say the very least. So I'm looking at this thing with Jamie Foxx and I'm saying, he looks like he's been ill. He looks like he's battled some things. He looks like he's still battling some things. So I'm not willing to say he's a clone or robot. I wish I had the robot voice here. That would be funny. I don't think I have a robot. Do I have a robot voice here? No. Oh, yes, I do got the robot.
Robot, I'm Jamie Foxx, and I'm talking with my AI. And yes, I'm going to destroy the whole human race. They've got Dee Hearne too. He's a robot. No, we're not doing that.
We're not doing that. No, he's been sick. He's been ill. This happens. It takes a toll on people. And you say, well, look at his bone structure. Look at the angle. Let's wait a little bit, okay? Let's not be so impatient to put people in these positions. I hope y'all don't do that to me. If you see somebody coming in playing bass and you say, oh my God, Derek has been cloned. No, that's just me. Maybe I just wanted to get away. You know, as I continue to lose this weight, I'm going to look a little different in September than I do now. Are you going to say that I'm sick like y'all did before? I am kind of sick, though. This up and down weather is kicking my tail. So if I take a couple of seconds to cough and drink some water, leave that to me. No, it's not the bug. Some of y'all too much. I'm glad Jamie is okay. Me too, Stetson. I'm actually glad he's okay. And my thing, they are very crazy. But we just like to if we're not putting them in the grave, we're making them AI. If we're not making them AI, we're making them clones. If we're not making them clones, we're making them gay. If we're not making them gay, we're making them 304s. If we're not, I mean, it's this constant. No, he was ill. They actually did a very good job of keeping what's going on with him very private. I like that they did that. And that's what made y'all go crazy. If I get a clone, listen, I'm going to be honest. I want them to make a clone of me because I could just do the day job and send the clone to do the bass job, or switch. Let them do the day job and then I'll play bass. I would love it. If you're listening, please make a clone of me. We can make some money together because I can send that clone in different places. We can make all the money. You hear me? While I'm out playing gigs and doing tours and everything else, my clone will be doing IT and computers and networking and cybersecurity. We can make all the money. I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. But I thought that was crazy. Not as crazy as this, though. This said, hey, this is Vance. Hi. Hope you had a great day. I'm excited for tomorrow. I can pick you up, but if you're not comfortable with that, we could just meet there. I don't know, but I'm feeling getting some ice cream in this hot weather. Sorry if this comes out as rude, but I don't do ice cream dates. I'm a 26-year-old woman, and a date like that seems like absolute bare minimum for me. Let me say this. When this was sent to me and you knew I was going to go here, this is one of the ones you run from. Listen, I keep telling y'all need to run from these type of women that say they off rip, they want something from you. I personally, I'm not gonna stay long on here, but listen, I like chocolate ice cream, Dairy Queen, or one of these other places, Baskin Robbins, one of these other places. Let's go for a walk. Let's eat the ice cream. Let's talk. It's a nice, where I live, there's a nice park. We can eat ice cream. We can walk and talk. The park is very nice. It's very romantic. We can walk and talk. I need to go there again. We need to go there again. You know, we need to go there again. Let's do that. But anyway, I'm the kind of person where I'm okay with that. An ice cream date, just getting to know each other. I want to just talk because me personally, y'all getting to know me. Thank God. Hallelujah. God bless you. But I want to have a deep conversation. I want to have a conversation with you. I want to talk to you. I want to hear from you. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to pay that much for a meal. And I'm so captivated with you trying to listen to you. My food is cold. It's nasty. And I spend what, $200-$300 at a meal that I'm gonna take home and throw in the microwave or the oven. That makes no sense to me. Let's go somewhere where we can talk. We can do the dinner thing. That's date 2, maybe. That's date 2. Date 1, I personally think it's okay. Coffee dates, ice cream dates. I love ice cream, chocolate ice cream. That might, hey, that's number 1 for me. I don't know how y'all do it. But ice cream is okay. Ladies, that doesn't mean we're not into you because we're not spending money. Oh, we're going to go somewhere later on, though. But it doesn't mean we're not into you. Maybe the man just wants to take his time. It's okay with that. It's okay with taking your time. I don't think a man should be spending $300 a rip because he doesn't know you. That's dumb. Man, I just don't understand that. But aren't we broke losers if we don't? Wait, I need to turn up my brightness on my computer. Okay. Aren't we broke losers if I don't take a woman out for expensive dinner on the first date? Yeah, you are broke. But I don't care. Listen, you can call me broke. I don't think I would qualify as that. But still, maybe a few years ago, you could probably call me broke, and I really didn't give a falcon then either. But still. I still feel like the first date, I don't want to waste that because the first date is really, I want to hear from you. I want to know about you. You should want to know about me. You should want to know about me. You should want to have those conversations, assuming we didn't have those kind of conversations going in. We need to have a conversation before we decided to go out on a date, which we should. I'm thinking we should have. But nevertheless, yeah. That's whoo. Yeah, that always rubs me the wrong way when somebody says off rip, I think I deserve that. Let us determine that, ladies. Let us determine if you're worth that. Because some of you, we may feel like, oh no, I need to break the mold on this one. But some of you, we might be like, I like what I see and everything, but I want to make sure this is okay. And that should be okay with you. Anyway, this is not okay. When this was sent to me, I said, Lord. My name is Stephanie. I'm a home wrecker. I knew he was married. Listen, let me tell you something my dad always told me. My dad always told me never go after the person that your girl cheated with. Never go after him. You don't have a relationship with him. You go after the person you are with. But this took it to a whole nother level. A whole nother level. Why would you do this? Now, y'all can tell me in the comment section real quick. Is this too much? I know my answer is yes. But you tell me yes or no. Is this too much? I'm thinking this is way too much. I don't think I would ever go this far. I mean, I'm not going to put that person on blast. Now, if you my friend and we have covenant, then I'm going to break. Yeah, it's going to get real nasty. If I look up and you with my girl, like I got friends, they know who they are. If I see you trying to holler at my girl or they go there, yeah. We going hard. And that's a flip. You know what? Stetson, that is a run Nokia. Look, so your boy, your man or boyfriend or whatever he is, decided to step out on a chick that can't even see it, pictures on her phone. You can't make this shift up. You can't make this shift up. She can't even send him nude pics. She can't send him nude pics. She can't even send no cuchalas, no totaris, no nothing, no popotis, no conzumbas, no man. So what? You can't make. You can't make this up, man. What in the world? Oh man. I read some of these comments. She can play the heck. Well, we try not to go there, Marcel. It's still early in the evening. Listen, we got 3 minutes. I know how y'all get in my comment section. I love it. I'm here for it. But y'all got to give a little grace. Y'all be wilding out before 9. Wait till the children are in the bed. 9 o'clock, I'm going to let y'all rip it up. But y'all be going, I want to tell y'all that last time. I love y'all in the comment section. I love y'all to death. But y'all be going hard before 9 o'clock. So I'm going to try to be nice before 9. Y'all, listen, before 9, we got 3 minutes before y'all start to rip up because y'all be clowning in this comment section. I promise. Y'all, listen, when I get off the show and I actually go back and read some of the stuff that y'all said, listen, y'all are the funniest people on earth. Y'all actually make my day because I'm reading these comments. I can't read them all because they go so fast sometimes, but man, y'all go hard before 9. So save it before 9. I'm in Detroit. It's 10 o'clock. Oh, no. Well, 10 o'clock Eastern time. It's 9 o'clock here in central Chicago area. y'all crazy. But anyway, hey, I don't know if y'all followed this story, but this story is weird to me. This TikToker, right, called the Sassy Trucker, she's trapped in Dubai and faces 2 years in prison for screaming at a rent-a-car worker. Listen, last week, I think it was last Friday, actually, I was at my job, and sometimes I'm asked to, and I don't mind. I love where I work. I actually love my day job. And sometimes I'm asked to do things that not necessarily is something I signed up for. It's not on my job description, but I don't mind. And one of those things is we are next door to a facility like a sports complex, like a multi-event complex right next door. It's really big, right? And they have their own parking lot, but every now and then, those people, and then we're right next to another baseball field. So it gets really crazy. So sometimes I have to go out and put cones and stuff like that to save spaces for our parents. I mean, we got infants for crying out loud, you know? And so I learned that last Friday, as much as I love us, and I'm talking about people of color, Black people, or African American, or whatever you consider yourself to be. I love us. What up, Marcel? But sometimes we could be a bit much. Because y'all mother Falcon cousins came out to our facility. Now, where I work, it's like a suburb area. It's real quiet. The birds are singing. It's a park. It's a pond. It's nice. It's a nice baseball field. It's nice. But your cousins came out and decided to have a turn up right next door at this facility. Now, when I said it's nice, I didn't have to tell you what the surrounding people look like, right? Did I have to tell you what they look like? Let me give you a hint. It wasn't us. It was a repass for somebody who had passed, and they used the facility to, have their repass. My friend told me, and I didn't notice it at first because I'm moving cones, getting parents in, calling in for the kids, get La Bruma ready, so we can keep it going. So, because it's not a whole lot of space. So she said, "You noticed something, Dee?" And I was like, "What?" She said, "All the people down there got red on. Red, black, and gray." And I had to take a look, and I said, "Whoa, you're right. There wasn't any blue. Their cars weren't blue. No blue cars. All the cars were either red, black, white, or some other color, but there were no blue cars at all. In fact, when I looked down there was no blue at all." I didn't know they still do that here in 2023. That's what they still, I didn't know that. I mean, listen, if I could be honest, when I was younger, I used to call myself out here banging. It was very, very pause, but it was very, very short-lived. But I wanted to be a game banger. This is what I wanted to be because I grew up in this area. I grew up around them. I still know a lot of them to this day. I was calling myself hanging with them. but it was very short-lived. I talked about this a long time ago. Maybe later I'll tell you again. But I used to call myself out here game banking, y'all. Really. I know you can hear some little bit, even though I'm educated now, you can still hear a little bit of the Gary coming out every now and then. But even then, at most, I broke my hat to the left. You know, I was calling myself, you know, riding on the 5 or whatever you want to call it now. But we never did colors. So I'm shocked to see people still wearing colors like that. And I'm telling you, they represent it. But they had the loud music. They were drinking. They were loud. Chicks was twerking it up. They were dressed all crazy and everything else. And I said, Lord, why is it that it always has to be us to represent ourselves like this? I know some of you ain't gonna like that, and I understand that, but this is what I was thinking at that moment. You are in a suburb area in a nice building with all these people that don't look like you, and you do nothing to shift the stereotype away. The Pookies, the Ray Rays, the Anquans, and the Shatwillas and everybody else was out there turning up, smoking weed right next to a child care facility with babies and infants and young kids out in the front trying to play and enjoy themselves. And you out in the parking lot banging music, being loud and everything else. Why must that be us at every turn? What happened to being classy? And so this young lady decides to take that Ratchetville stuff out to Dubai. And I keep telling y'all, and I know some of y'all get mad, and I understand that, but getting loud, ladies, getting loud, that doesn't work anywhere but here with simps, Pookies, and Ray Rays and Anquans. It doesn't work with lawyers. It doesn't work with any professionals. It doesn't work with any kind of high-level man. It definitely doesn't work with any other demographic. So you limit yourself to one demographic of people that will even listen to you. But then you take that over to another country where they're not going to listen to you, where their women are behaved, and you're going to try your luck over in a country that ain't America? And you went over there, and there's some more things coming out about this story, by the way. It ain't just that. But there is a law there. I actually looked it up. As a lady, you are not allowed to raise your voice and scream like that. That's a law. You can say it's not fair. They don't care. It's only unfair to you because you live here. Because if you live there, your aspirations wouldn't be doing that. And you represented the stereotype that they have of you already. You know what I traveled abroad. I have friends that live abroad. I have friends that live in Italy. I have friends that live in London. I have friends that live all the other places. And in every one of those situations, I ask them. That's why I say when I come over here and I talk about what men saying, it ain't just American men. I talk to people. I text people, I inbox people, I have conversations with people. And you know what the stereotype is? It ain't good. Loud, ratchet. Why must it be us? The Pookies and the Ray Rays, we know that, but the Pookies and the Ray Rays really don't travel abroad like that, y'all. Give me a second. Let me drink my water. Whew. Keldrick, I do talk to you when I have time. You funny. But no. So she decided to go over there and she found out. And like I keep telling you, the more I wish I knew where that was at. The more you mess around, the more you find out. And she found out.
The more you around, the more you're going to find out.
Yep. And then this happened. Where is it?
I'm trying to get my coochie scratched. I'm trying to get my coochie scratched and eat a nigga. We be eating nigga ass today in London. Period. Baby. I'm trying to get the coochie scratched.
Did you see the way that they looked at them? That's London, y'all. They don't act like, there's some ratchet everywhere. But that's not, I've been to London and they don't carry it like that really. Not in the places I was in London. That I didn't see it. I mean, I saw some dress there, some people dress like that, but I'm saying that loud, ratchet behavior, I didn't see that there. And I'm just saying that y'all think that I just bash, and I don't bash. Criticism is not bashing. I need to learn the difference. But y'all don't understand that the representation that we as a people have worldwide is not good. But like I said, the Pookies and Ray Rays, at most, you get them on a Carnival cruise line. They don't fly anywhere. When I go to the airport and I'm going to any big place, like if I'm going to Las Vegas, of course, the Pookies and the Ray Rays will go there. But like if I'm going to somewhere else, like to Aspen, to Colorado, Aspen, the mountains, when I'm going to a jazz festival or something like that, they're not there. And I heard they tore up the Essence Festival with all the ratchetity. We know Pookies and Ray Rays exist. The problem is, it's one level of people that actually feel like they don't have to be accountable for anything. And that's the part that drives me crazy sometimes, because I want us to represent ourselves to be, we always say we kings and queens. We're the only people on this planet calling each other kings and queens, but we don't move like that. We celebrate ratchetness. We celebrate it. We make excuses for it. We say, "Oh, it's just them." I'm coming from an era where, Maya Angelou and Oprah Winfrey and all of those women, and even Michelle Obama, and shoot, Angie, Chisholm, whatever her name is, Chisholm, I think her name is, she ran for president back in the day. And Angela Davis. These are the women that I'm looking at. I'm saying those are admirable. How the hell we go from that to those being the people that's the face of us, to Megan the Man Horse, to Cardi B Classless, to all these ratchet acting women? These are the face of you right now? Little Uzi and Wu-Teen and all these other names. Come on, y'all. This is us. This is the people that represent us now. When people say these are our people, this is it. I just don't understand that. I really don't. I really don't. And it's sad, because everything that used to represent class is now deemed to be antiquated, archaic, and old. Oh no, y'all need to let that go. And so now I'm seeing that picture. Y'all know what I'm talking about. What's her name? Rapper chick that was smashing with Biggie Smalls. Lil' Kim. She did a picture where she was, y'all seen this picture. She's like this with her feet. You mean to tell me that picture, which is very highly inappropriate, found this way done 3 freaking times? 3? You can't make this shift up. And I'm just tired of that being a representation of me. And you say, well, it doesn't bother you. Let me tell you this, and then we're going to move on. I was in Las Vegas. And when I go to Las Vegas, I don't stay on the old strip. I pay the money. I stay on the new strip right next to that mall. I pay the money because I want to stay there. I don't want to be on the old strip. Y'all ninjas don't go to sleep. Y'all stay up all night zip lining and stripping and drinking yourself into a stupor. Nope. I stay on the new strip where it actually shuts down at a certain time. That's where I normally stay. When I go to Las Vegas, everybody can stay on the other strip. Those of you who've been to Las Vegas, you know about Las Vegas. You know it's the old strip and new strip. Y'all know that. I don't stay on the old strip. I stay on the new strip, right? But I was in this area and I'm walking. Now, I can dress, I wear a suit or whatever, but I shouldn't have to wear a suit for you to see that I'm dignified, right? But I'm actually walking, right? This lady literally grabs her bags and runs across the street from me. And I was like, maybe me and 2 other dudes, which is regular musicians here for the Stella Awards. That's a gospel event. But because our stereotype is so negative, and yes, racism and media plays a part in that, and we can't argue that, but we do our best to feed into it sometimes. And I'm just sick and tired of it. to be honest with you. I'm sick and tired of it. Yeah. But anyway, it's with great pleasure I announce that a friend of mine is releasing a single very soon. Her name is Lillian Lloyd. Y'all know her. One More Chance. She's doing her own single. It debuts on August 20th. You can start pre-ordering on August 1st. Her name is Lillian Lloyd. She's a very good friend of mine. Y'all know her from One More Chance and, Victory. Yes, I got it. If you got, I got it. But believe it or not, Lillian actually is a very versatile singer. She can sing a host of things. She actually led a song for me on a record I produced years ago. And she proved that she can actually sing other songs than, she's the ad-lib queen, but she can do other things outside of that. And so if, I want you guys to really go out and support her. It drops August 20th. You can start right now. August 1st, you can start, placing your orders. Okay, it's called Deliver Us. So please, 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 please support my friend, Lillian Lloyd. I love you, Lillian. If you're watching this, know that I love you. You know I love you if I put your stuff on my show. You know that much. But anyway, hey, listen, I'm a big proponent of children leading us. And I always say children will lead us. I work in childcare, and I have some amazing students there, very smart, but none like this child, but his dad didn't listen. So
you are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Oh, real quick, check this out.
Don't play that boat. Don't play that boat.
Damn it! Fuck! Oh my goddamn pinky! Fuck!
The child kept telling him, "Don't play with him. Don't play with him. Don't play with him." And he lost his pinky. You gotta listen to your kids. Your kids are smarter than what you think. They're smarter than that. They're smarter than that. But he ain't the only one that's dumb. Now, y'all tell me. I'm gonna keep moving. Y'all tell me what would you've done in this situation?
I'm tired of this. It's her birthday.
Like, it's my fucking birthday. Why the fuck should I have to pay for something on my birthday?
But what I'm saying is, why would I pay for something I didn't buy? I'm only paying for what's on the check. I'm not splitting the bill, shawty. That's crazy. You expect us to split the bill? You got lamb chop. You got steak. Look at all that. Look at what all they got. They talking about splitting the bill. What did you come out for? My thing is, y'all doing too much. Y'all doing way too much. We didn't order all that. But when I'm saying this, I'm not paying for that. That is dead, baby girl. That is dead. That's dead. Stop coming out of public when you can't pay for your food. What's the point of getting food if you can't pay?
So, real quick, what would you have done in that situation? $4,600 is a lot for a bit. I don't know what anyway. I guess it was a really expensive restaurant. I don't believe in splitting the bills. I believe in everybody doing itemizations, because I may not, by me being vegetarian these days, sticking to vegetables, and I've been really sticking to it. My bill won't come out to $4,600 if I tried. I mean, there's not a vegetable in the world that's going to cost that much. Maybe if I ordered pasta, and I may not, maybe. But for the most part, no, my veggies and my salad is probably going to be at the most 30, 40, maybe 50, depending on the restaurant. How do I look pitching in and splitting the bills is $4,600 and you ordering filet mignon and drinks and lobster tails and everything else? Do y'all think that was fair? I've been in a situation like that, and it was the very last time I did it. I think no. I don't believe you should be splitting the bill. Now, this is a birthday girl. I get it. We should probably cover her bill, maybe, but that's her man next to her. That's your job, bro. That's your woman. That's your job, not ours. But I can see that. But all of us putting our money together for that, nah. No. What y'all think? Tell me what you think about that. But I want to show y'all something real quick, and then we're going to move on. Then I got to go. This was posted. Men go crazy over natural hair, face, and pretty feet. I want to touch on this really fast before I talked about this manosphere thing. I've been saying this for the longest time. Now, y'all not going to think much of this, but I'm going to show you this. I saw this woman, right? And this is a natural face that she said. When men say natural face, we mean this. Straight out the shower, looking at your face, this is what you're looking at. Now, I think this is a nice looking woman because I'm thinking with all the makeup, once she gets herself made up and everything, she's going to be okay. This is what I'm saying, natural face. But it's unfortunately, we live in a society where we don't know anymore what natural is. And it was so funny. I was talking to Miss Lynn earlier, and I said, I thought some comedian, Miss Hilarious or some junk like that. I'm gonna go into it next week, but this lady said, I thought you was a man or something like that. Somebody thought she was a man. And I thought that too, because with all the makeup and eyelashes and stuff like that, we don't know. And now y'all got filters everywhere. We don't know. We kind of like natural. Fellas, help me out. Don't y'all like the natural? I do like the natural because when y'all go too far, you have issues. We never asked you to get BBLs. Just hilarious. Thank you, Miss Lynn. We never asked you to get BBLs. We never asked you to get implants. We never asked you for any of that. We prefer natural looking women. And why is this important? Because when we watch dating sites and we watch dating shows and everything else, when we see this stuff, it's like you want to just force feed this stuff to us, even though we're telling you we don't like it. We don't like it. Thank you. D. Dawkins is right. Natural is a great gift from God. We like, ladies, please understand, men like you in your natural. We understand you're going to get your face beat. We understand you're going to get your nails done and your face done. We understand that. But to us, natural beauty is a thing. We kind of like a natural face because looking at that, she got the nice features. She got a nice full face. She got nice full lips. Put makeup on her, she's going to be definitely up there. Definitely. And I'm speaking for most men. And so now here's the thing, and the reason why this is important. There's been a misunderstanding what the manosphere is because people have been saying the manosphere, a bunch of what they call us misogynist, sexist, chauvinistic, all of this kind of stuff. All we do is bash women and everything. I don't consider myself manosphere content. We just do this. But I do follow some men that are considered to be in the manosphere. They don't bash women. And I think the issue is, ladies, some of you don't know the difference between criticism and bashing. Some criticism is harsh. And you say, well, why is this important? Why do y'all care? Because if we're looking to date you for marriage, what we want and our grievances, we need to share it with other men. The manosphere is not what you think it is. It's not for us to bash women. It's a place where we talk about things. Now, here's the funny thing. We discuss our social anxiety, self-esteem, sexual issue, parenting, relationship problems, vulnerabilities, discipline, depression, thoughts of suicide, and many other topics, right? But none of those other topics actually even matter. Nobody listens until we start talking about relationship stuff and what we want from women. Then there's the problem. Kevin Samuels talked to men for 4 years before you heard of him. 4. At least 4. I know because I go back. 4. He was telling us about colognes, how to level up, how to become respectable, how to become successful, how to be ambitious. He was talking about that stuff, couldn't get no traction. But the day he did that average, once he started talking to women, then he started to blow up. And a lot of men gravitated to Kevin Samuels because he was willing to say on camera what men have been saying for the longest time. And I'm finding that a lot of ladies, unfortunately, don't want to hear the criticism from men. And some of my people that I really care about, they don't believe me when I say we've been hearing it from you for almost 50 years. But that's true. That's true. And so now that men are actually talking and they have a voice, it seems like to us, people want us to shut up. And they want to shut the manosphere down. Because when I ran the search on what manosphere meant, it was all negative. I had to really dig into a psychology website to find out what it was really meant, what it's really about. It's really about men talking to men about men issues. things that men, and it's funny, the men group that I'm in, they all try, well, some are really good, but one of them in particular is not very good. The women infiltrate there and leave that bitter stuff up in the men groups. We're talking about stuff, and yeah, some men are toxic, some men are misogynistic, some men are, but that's everywhere. Anything you have is going to be some people that are outliers. But for the most part, we talk about stuff that's very enriching to men. We talk about stuff that's enriching to men. So my thing is this. Y'all say we don't hold each other accountable, and I found that to be false. So if the manosphere just went away, all male advocate groups went away, right? We would go back to just being what? Because some of these men that benefited from this content are men that you want. They're men that you want. They are men that have become successful. There are men that have leveled up. There are men that have listened to other men and showed them the way to do it, how to be suave, how to balance your checkbook, or how to depend or coexist with a woman who is willing to help you balance your checkbook. They actually teach you that. Some men in men advocate platforms, manosphere men who are married, are teaching men how to listen to their women, respect their women, to treat their women and love their women. You don't want to talk about that. You just hear the people like Kevin Samuels and Andrew Tate and Fresh and Fit, and you think, oh God, all men platforms are like that. No, because some of you watch me. I'm not like that. I can be a little bit harsh at times, but I'm harsh on the men too. But you don't care about the men. You only care that we hurt your widow feelings. Only when we talk about women is there an issue. And when you got simps like Spiffy, when I said this, hey, y'all tripping, Lizzo's beautiful, and this actually happened. And I said, I can't believe how much y'all favor, and she did favor her. She got mad at me. Here this idiot comes saying, maybe because he was trying to be an insult. It wasn't an insult. She really did look like Lizzo. I said that, she got upset. It's simps like him that make y'all think by trying to shut the manosphere down, that's doing a good thing. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Because now men have to start listening to these guys. Yeah, some of them I don't listen to. Some people I never even heard of. But I don't think anything's wrong with the manosphere. I want it to stay. We've listened to us being called sperm donors, good for nothing, broke, dusties, F-boys, and everything else. But now, because we have a voice about not necessarily dogging you, but telling you the types of women that as we level up, the types of women that we look for, now there's an issue. Now there's an issue. I just never really will understand that, y'all. I won't. I think the manosphere is very misunderstood. I think it would do you a great deal of good to actually find one that's actually talking about what you need to hear. And we don't tell you what to do. I know I don't presume to speak for women. But what I will tell you is what men have told me they're looking for from their wives. And you can make the proper adjustments. If you find something wrong with that, and then here you got some things that you can do. Let me find it for you. You can dial on with your dog. All right, let's get to this Preachers Going Wild. I'm not going to even wait. Now, this is funny. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I might not. But listen, every now and then, my Facebook friends bless me in a way that's unimaginable. I was going to play this a couple of weeks ago when I was at AIM, but I waited till tonight. Listen, this is funny to me. I don't know why, but this is. Here we go.
I come to tell ya, don't give up. It's got to get better. Maybe you're sitting in here wondering how I'm gonna make it back home. I gotta tell you why you gonna make it. Because one Friday on the year called cow, you know what it did. You died. You know you died. You're a stupid, but I feel like preaching here. He died. He died.
He died to the mold, refused the shine. He died, yes he did, to the centurion. Soldier said, surely this must be the Son of God. I gotta close here, but I need you to help me. Preach it one time. Turn to your neighbor, grab another hand.
Don't hold up like you've been smothered. Little lemon soul, but hold the head like God's been good. Hold the head, nothing puts out. No, ain't holding him. And look him in the face, look him in the eye. Say, neighbor, and stupid neighbor, and I still got some weight. That stupid neighbor, myself right now, but I remember that ain't how the story. Sunday morning, what did he do? He turned up on resurrection prayer, and I heard him say, I got all power. Power is in my hand. You do the one thing, throw your arm around somebody. If you're not too big, throw your arm around somebody. And say, neighbor, this stupid neighbor, I should have been dead and gone. But the ain't no doubt in that temper. Hey, is it anybody here? No, he got power.
Listen, I know that just blessed me beyond. Y'all hear me? That just look, when I first saw that, I literally have to play that at least every now and then. That's just too funny to me because they went in so early. Yeah, they was literally, dude. That was the funniest thing ever to me. I'm sorry, but yeah. Let me ask y'all a question. Don't y'all hate when people? Do you think shouting should be dancing? You think it should be orchestrated like just straight like a regular dance, or are you okay with this type? Now, are you okay with that kind of shout? Like, I mean, I know some chicks out here that can clear roles. You know what I'm saying? I mean, do you think shouting has to be orchestrated like a regular dance, like y'all be hopping and skipping and moving? Do you think it needs to be that, or are you okay with this kind of bulldozing all over the place? I need our altar workers. But I mean, I know Miss Lynn and Trina would probably be like, well, you know, you got to move as God moves you. But honestly, you said zesty. I don't know if it was zesty. We don't know the dude, man. Y'all don't, see, that's what I'm saying. Y'all don't pull punches here. I'm okay with it, but good Lord, we don't know if the dude is zesty. We don't know. We don't know if he's zesty. We don't know. Yeah, we don't know. But anyway, now we do know this ain't zesty.
Work. I believe it works.
You sure it's gonna help me stop being a hoe?
I do, but let's go through the process and let's just see what happens. So pull them off from it. And I can help you. Okay, let me help you from here. Ooh. Okay, step out of them. All right, now, and so what this does, and I'm always real discreet with your regular panties. So I folded them, I lay them there. And like I said, what these do, these are prayer panties. And by me touching them and helping you put them on, And the way we do it, this will help. So you just keep that in mind. Step in the knee. Okay? Put your leg in. Yeah. Yeah, this is good. Now allow me to pull them up. Yeah, this is good. All right.
I've seen a lot of things before, but prayer panties? Prayer panties. Would there ever be a such thing as prayer panties, ladies and gentlemen? Is that really going to turn into a thing? That's kind of weird to me that you would think prayer panties. So let me ask this question. When you go into Victoria's Secrets, do you buy the panties and then say, God bless these panties? I mean, Lord, it just, this thing gets weirder and weirder by the week. Oh, yes, he did hit. Oh, yes, Kayla said Jesus coming real soon. Yeah, he has to, because we need to get out of stuff like this.
Go on, Joe. You ain't paid me my money. You ain't paid me my money. I'll get you off this camera when you give me my money. 15 minutes, 125. You know the drill. How many times we meet up, Joe? This time? This time, really? You think we finna? No, I'm sorry. Your wife gonna see this. Your wife is gonna see this. Pay me my money or get a divorce. Which one is gonna be? Which one is it gonna be? Get me off that damn. She's gonna know. Get me off that 3-4 times a week. He here, y'all. Facebook. He's here meeting with me in this room. Yeah. No, I'm not getting you off for nothing. Everybody gonna know about you. Run me my money. I ain't got time for this. You know my money is valuable. I'm sorry. You know my time is my money, and I'm explaining my time with you. I gave you $200 last time, and you got $200 worth of pleasure the last time too. Let me pay you when I get home. No. You ain't gave me nothing extra. You got extras. I'm sorry. No, absolutely not. Okay. This ain't happening. You're not leaving, Joe. Give me off that damn camera. No. When you give me my money, I'll get you off the camera. You're getting a divorce. What you're gonna get is a divorce. Everybody on Facebook is gonna see this. Yes, his name is Joe. She'll know who you are. Everybody might not know, but she will know. She will know. You know, when you give me my money, that's all you gotta do. Just give me my money. Give me my money. That's all you have to do. I'm sorry. 15 minutes for 15 minutes. 125. You know the rates. I paid your ass enough for this shit to be free tonight. What?
For the record, that is a man.
Break some veins! Break some veins!
He had Frankenbeans. He had Frankenbeans. I was looking at that. I was like, dude, this is the craziest thing in the world. What is going on here? I'm going to say this, and I know some of you, y'all going to be like,
Okay.
But I got to say it. I wish to goodness, to the gracious, that people would be able to come out and just say, look, this is who I am. This is who I am. Next week, I'm covering it, by the way. We're talking about it. Because it is something that's happening where people are just scared. We ain't going to touch on it too long, but seriously, just come on out. Because the one thing I've learned that you can do just about anything in church and get away with it, but it seemed like the second you gay, you get caught in this kind of situation, then everybody just say, oh, that's horrible. I remember a few years ago when William McCrae tried to come for me, pause, super pause, but he tried to find dirt on me. And the one thing that you couldn't find on me, you was trying to find, because they know the one thing you could do to tear somebody down is to say they're gay. Situations like this, they will say, oh, well, he's alternative. But I've learned that anything else, like I could have been the biggest 304 in the church. I could have been the biggest embezzler or stealing or not paying musicians or anything like that. Oh, that don't matter. Just don't be gay. Had this dude come out and everybody knew he was gay, nobody would care about this video. There would be, first of all, he probably wouldn't even be married. Number one, he wouldn't be married. But number two, he definitely wouldn't have been worried about being outed aside of, you know, some people. But for the most part, if everybody knew he's gay already, everybody be like, okay, you know what? I'm just saying, I just think that maybe some of them should come out. Maybe all of them. We'll deal with it. We will deal with it. Now, some people going to be mad and everything else, but really, just be honest with me. Do you think it'd be better just for everybody to just know? Some of them going to be like, oh, we knew that already. But the thing is, D, I didn't go at Williams. I went at his hat. That's only, and I just posted the picture. And he decided to want to, and boy. See, God has really blessed me because I made his listen, they say makes the stream pop. Oh, his page was popping when I got to his page when he tried to come for me. Pause. But boy, my typing fingers was on. And he got roasted on his own page. So it was bad. Well, maybe him paying a prostitute would be a problem. I mean, yeah, of course, Damien, that would be a problem. There'd be a problem. But I left a post last week, and I'm going to touch on it real quick. Let me see who's texting me. I don't care. All right, here we go. So, y'all see this. Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to play it one more time, and I'm going to stop it at a certain point, and then I'm going to give my commentary. Okay. Believe it or not, I don't really have anything wrong with this. I don't really have anything wrong with this. I don't see much wrong with it, except for there are children there. There are children there. That's the one thing I see that's wrong with it. There are children in this video. Is this, oh, I don't know, this was posted. You know, I just happened to see it. I've never seen it. But that's the only thing. There are children there. Now you say, well, why does that matter? Children seen dancing. And here's the thing. Children have seen dancing. But I've come to learn a lot of things working in childcare, believe it or not. I've come to see a lot of things working in childcare. And one of the things I see is children are sponges. Children are sponges. Children are sponges. And you know the amazing thing about children, they learn really quickly. They learn the bad stuff first and easiest. But you know the one thing about it is, as adults, we have what you call on and off switches. We can turn it on and we can turn it off. A child does not understand boundaries. And they don't understand that there should be an on and off switch. What are you saying? Imagine you are at this party, you see this woman dancing and putting her little thought pockets on this man, and the children that are watching then go to school and reenact what they just saw. The teacher says that's inappropriate, sends them home and sends them home with the suspensions or whatever because it's inappropriate behavior, right? Then you whoop the child. Or you get mad at the teacher for sending them home. The child looks at that, and children, they're not dumb. But they don't have the ability to say, this is too far. What represent our children, they grow up really fast. Listen, every morning when I go up to the school, especially now we in summer camp, we're dealing with the 6 through 12-year-olds. You would not believe some of the conversations that they have. And me being a teacher or IT guy, but they look at me like I'm a teacher and they express some things to me. Some of the stuff that these 6-year-olds talk about, they should not talk about. But you know why they talk about it? Because we as adults, we do everything and we say everything. We act a certain way in front of these children and we force them into situations that they don't understand. Outside of the children being there, Do what you want to do. But you know, this is my issue. This is my second issue. When I was younger, I had a bit naive mindset of what the church was. I was naive. But even now, I'm not naive. I'm mature in this thing. I still would find it very hard to believe that my pastor and first lady would be dancing and twerking up to doing the butts. There was a certain level, a certain thing. If we are a peculiar people, we are set apart people. I find, you know what's crazy? If you go to New York, Brooklyn, right? You go to New York, Brooklyn, you will see a certain group of people with the hats on, with the curly cues coming out the sides of their hats, the men. And you will automatically say, those are Jewish. You will look at some other men, you will see women with the dress and the covering and everything else, and you will say, those are Muslims. You will look in other people's, in their religious garbs, you would say, they are who they are. I have a hard time guessing what we are now. And what do we represent? Because we do everything that everybody else is doing. We do everything. There is no limits to what we do. And now we are accepting it and saying, oh, it goes well now. I'm from the old school. And from my books and the way I was raised, there should be a difference between us and them. On a Sunday morning, you see us walking out. I have my suit on and everything else. And people can automatically say, he came from church. That's no longer, because we dress like everybody else. I have a hard time understanding what we represent anymore, because now we have to wait till we talk to you. But here's the thing. People will perceive. I talked about this just a little bit earlier when that lady walked across the street, because when she saw me, she perceived me to be something, a representation that I was not. And most people are not going to wait to talk to you to make up their mind about you. Yeah, even today I went in the Apple store and they were amazed at my intellect. They were amazed at the stuff that I knew and the way I can articulate. They were amazed. But looking at me coming in with a t-shirt and shorts, they probably would have never thought that. But had I come in dressed like this, they automatically would have said, oh no, he's about something. What happened to us being set apart? What happened to us being that? What happened to us to being not part of these things? Now, yeah, okay, have your fun. I get it. But I'm just saying, because looking at the comment section of this particular video, it made me wonder, like, where, I mean, be honest. Sometimes those of us who grew up in church, I'm third generation coaching. I'm not young. I'm not old, but I'm not young. And I'm looking and I'm seeing this progression to something that I don't recognize. Imagine, that's what I left in my post. Imagine you look at this woman that you loved and you don't recognize her. And I'm trying so hard to try to find a thing about this new era of church that I love, because I love church, but I'm trying to find out where I fit in this thing. I'm trying to find out where does Derek fit in this thing, because now I'm looking at the church and I'm like, I don't know what this is anymore. The stuff we used to call sin is not sin anymore. It's okay. It's accepted. It's paraded. It's celebrated. The stuff that we used to call holy is not holy anymore. It's not set apart. It's not, whatever. Everything, nothing's sacred. We used to call the church sacred. It's not sacred anymore. I mean, be honest, I never really considered it sacred. I considered it a place where we gathered, but it used to be some level of sanctity there. It's not there anymore. So where are we going? As a church, where are we going? That's what I want to know. Where are we going as a church? What's the end game here? To just keep just accepting. We got more people celebrating going to Beyonce concert than they are going to church the very next day. What's happening to us? I don't know. That was on my heart, and it kind of wrecked me a little bit. It kind of wrecked me a little bit. But anyway, let's move. Now, let's finish this show off strong. Well, yeah, let's move on. Now, some of you wonder why we're here at the Big Theater. Have a seat. Y'all know how this goes. Have a seat. This post was said, while musicians are talking about singers in the talkback, we're talking about them in a group chat. And it was funny because I started thinking about some of the stuff that happens. And some of you see musicians with their mics and everything. You probably wondering, what in the heck do musicians be talking about? Well, let me give you a little bit. For one, they talk about, sometimes it's pause moments.
If I smell something, she wants it big, actually. Ooh, possible.
So sometimes there's a pause moments, and trust me, football games and church, you're gonna hear the most pause moments. Let them inside of you. Pause. You're gonna hear a lot of that, and then the musician mics. Sometimes we say, "Look, bro, pause." Bishop, we love you, but you be having quite a few pause moments up at Powerhouse too. And Pilgrim, I'm sure there's some pauses going on. So that's one of the things that happens in musicians mic, just in case you didn't know. Another thing happened to musician mic is this.
I went through a stairhead.
I can tell, bro. I can hear it.
You did.
You got another snare?
Yeah, I got the church in there, bro.
Okay. Yeah, it's good.
Kick falls apart, bro, for real. The kick to the song, bro, too.
Come on, we're building. Well, let's go. Will. We're building. I'm playing.
So he busted his snare. That happens too, where there's a snafu. I won't tell nothing that happens at Powerhouse, but it's some wild things that happens at Powerhouse. I remember one time I was at this one church where the foot pedal broke, and the drummer was like, "Oh my God, the foot pedal broke. What we gonna do?" And I was like, "You better hit on the flow time. Like you better get your praise on that way." But that happens. So y'all looking at musicians talking, they looking like it is a matter of urgency. Sometimes there is an issue with the kick drum. There's an issue with the bass string. I haven't broken a bass string in a long time, but there are a lot of things that happen with my bass guitar. Like for one time, there was a battery issue. My battery literally clunked out on me in service. And this particular bass, the battery gone is it. It's just that's it. And I literally was like, my battery's gone. And they was like, you good? So in the mic, people looking at us, but they don't hear what's going on. And I know some of you like, dang, what are they talking about? But I had a battery issue. That's another thing. And then sometimes we want to be in the choir, so we sing with you.
All the tenors in the house. I get down here. Listen, I know they cracking up on the I get down here. I get down here. I'm gonna sing soprano. Oh, get down here.
I'm not gonna hold you though. Rob is a dope bass player. I'm not gonna hold you. Rob really can play. That dude is a beast on bass. He's from Ohio. Dude is a beast. But we sing in the mics. We do all of that. And sometimes we back up the preacher and we take off the other bass player. Check this out.
1201.
Jeff, shut up.
That's why the devil is mad at you. But it's going to happen for the rest of the week. All the way until next Sunday. Look down your row and say, get ready, get ready, get ready.
Get ready.
I'm going to read.
Jeff, that ain't your thing, bro. Stay away from singing. this happened only one time, and I started carrying 9 volts in my bag ever since, especially with all these preamps. Man, yeah, my preamp, that preamp is very, very powerful in that bass. And I promise you, I if I plugged it up right now, the battery's probably gone. But seriously, that's a new preamp that I'm trying out. I'm trying to like it. I do like it in that bass, but for some reason the batteries don't last long in it. But that never happens again. I promise you. But here's another thing. Yo, speaking of bass, this happens sometimes. And if you watch Powerhouse, you probably heard it before the stream started.
Okay, here we go. 4 clicks.
Intro, 2, 3, 4.
Oh God. And then this happens.
Louder than before. I want to sing a little louder than before. Woo! I want to jump higher than before.
So this is one I wanted to get to. Singers, yes, sometimes musicians do talk about you in the mics. When you singing, you sound bad. They do. I mean, they do. Now, please don't think I'm talking about my church. I'm not. I'm talking about in general. Okay. At our church, we too busy trying to make sure we good. There's too much going on, and I got too many personalities to deal with to worry about what they singing. But yes, sometimes we talk about how you sound because we hear what you don't. For some reason, in our ears, if we have the vocals up, we're hearing the stuff that that you may miss. And yes, in the mics, we do. Come on, musicians, y'all know I'm telling the truth. We do go at singers. I think that's probably why the lady said what she said. But in that same thing, I say, yeah, but in the same conversations they have, it could be really, really bad. I won't go there tonight. But y'all know, it can get really wild up in these musicians' talkback mics. We talk about a whole lot of things. And well, I try not to participate in everything, but every now and then they bring you in, and especially when you the MD or the OG, they gonna be like, D, look, D, look, D, look. And I'm gonna be honest, the stuff that we see, musicians, we see everything. We see everything. Yeah, you be laughing while playing. Listen, we see everything. And if you walk across that stage and all your gazoombas or something hanging out, the musicians in there might be like, yo, and then all of us looking like, what? And then you show us, and some of us, the ones that ain't trying to go there, we like, nah. And then the other ones, they definitely looking. So that happens. But as MD, sometimes you use, it could get nasty. It could get kind of crazy. Check this out.
We gonna get there, but I got good home training, so I want to welcome you to Sister Circle International.
Jason, that's not what we doing. Stop, it's too early. Y'all always going to church. She's just doing the welcome. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not funny. Let's get through this service. I don't care who get up there. Don't push.
So we welcome you to the Sister Circle May Day.
Now, do you think that was too much, though? Do you think that was too much? I sometimes think we do too much. I mean, I try not to. Believe it or not, when I'm MDing, I don't say much of anything. I leave it to the kind of service we are at. The keyboards, I kind of let them lead and tell us where to go. And we just kind of follow suit. The only time I really will lead if it's a song that's structured, and then I kind of lead out or whatever. Or when I need to give a directive, hey, this is such and such. But do y'all think it was too much? I don't think. Sometimes we do tend to go to church when it ain't there. I agree. I mean, y'all cannot agree, but I agree. I think sometimes we go to church and it's not there. This is why I never have anything by lead vocal with band in my mix. Nothing else. Them background vocal be shaky as everyone don't know how to sing right notes and sing. Look, bro, listen, I usually have mine in my ears. I usually don't mind having vocals in my ears. I like a little bit because for me, I like my junk to sound like a record. You know what I'm saying? It makes me play better. When the bass is too high, it pulls in my ears, it kind of makes me feel like I don't know. I like to sit back. I like to put the bass kind of below. Like lately, I have to have it up because where I'm sitting, the speakers is literally right here. So I have no choice. But yeah, most of the time I don't. I have a little vocals up in there. Last but not least, check this out.
I can barely hear the fucking track.
I just need, come on.
I'm gonna play that one more time so y'all can hear what happened.
I can barely hear the fucking track.
I just need, come on.
He said he could barely hear the effing track. Now cussing does go on in the mics too. It like a lot of stuff goes on in the mic. Sometimes some cuss words is said. Sometimes they go hard. Somebody might have ticked somebody off. I've been a part of situations where there's been arguments. I've been a part of situations where there's been a whole lot. Now that you know, but bottom line, the musician's mic is really for us to communicate with each other because we're moving to a time where people are not doing hand signals anymore. I mean, we talk 1, 3, 4 up. And that's how we communicate. I think now that you know what goes on in the mic, you have a better understanding because believe it or not, people ask me all the time, what y'all be saying in the mics? And I'll be like, some of everything. But most of the time, it's wild. Most of the time, like 90% of the time is wild. 90% of the time, it is wild. Very wild. I think musicians, the only thing I can say to us is, we need to understand that we are in church sometimes, and sometimes we forget. And I'm saying we because sometimes I can be guilty. We forget we in church. We forget we are in this moment of worship. And then sometimes we don't keep that in mind. And I think we lose track of that. And I think sometimes it takes away from what could actually be a great service. What could be a service where things happen, where Spirit of God to move. So hold on. Woo. That went down the wrong hole. Anyway, yeah, check this out real quick.
Why is it controlling? How about a guy just has some standards for himself and he's saying to himself, if I'm going to date you and we're going to be exclusive and I'm going to prioritize you in multiple ways, I have expectations of you, which means that you're not going to go out, get sloppy drunk with your friends, be around a bunch of guys that are going to be like, the whole time, and maybe behave badly because people make not so great decisions when they drink. And why are you putting yourself in that situation? I don't want to give my exclusivity to someone who's going to voluntarily put themselves in those situations. And by the way, if you have me and you're so happy with me, why do you need to do all of that? Perfectly reasonable for a man to come to the table and say those things. Guys are afraid to say them oftentimes because they're afraid of losing a woman. Don't be afraid, men, to lose a woman who behaves badly. It will be an enormous favor to you if you lose someone that disrespects you consistently. Don't be afraid of the loss. Why is it controlling? How about a guy just has some standards for himself and he's saying to himself, if I'm going to date you and we're going to be exclusive and I'm going to prioritize you in multiple ways, I have expectations of you, which means that you're not going to go out, get sloppy drunk with your friends, be around a bunch of guys that are going to be like, the whole time, and maybe behave badly because people make not so great decisions when they drink. And why are you putting yourself in that situation? I don't want to give my exclusivity to someone who's going to voluntarily put themselves in those situations. And by the way, if you have me and you're so happy with me, why do you need to do all of that? Perfectly reasonable for a man to come to the table and say those things. Guys are afraid to say them oftentimes because they're afraid of losing a woman. Don't be afraid, men, to lose a woman who behaves badly. It will be an enormous favor to you if you lose someone that disrespects you consistently. Don't be afraid.
hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. I've been seeing this. If you ain't married, you're single kind of thing. And it's been kind of bad. I've been seeing a lot of posts about this, mostly from the ladies. Men, I believe that there is some truth to that. You know, who's this texting me? Stop texting me. But yeah. And so it's been kind of rough for me to bring this thing that I'm going to show you. What my t-shirt says, for recreational use only. I finally had this t-shirt made for recreational use only. What does this mean? If you are meeting, fellas, if you're meeting a woman and she's listening to these talking points and everything else, then that's recreational use only. Now, let me clear this up for you. I'm not talking about sex. I'm not talking about sex. But for recreational use only means going to the movies, going hanging out, going bowling, going to amusement park, taking trips, going out to eat, you know, having fun, whatever, because she's established herself as somebody that you don't want to take serious. I didn't say sex. Recreational use, that means fun. So Derek, why do you feel this way? I feel this way because more and more I'm starting to see that some of these ladies, not all, of course, not even most, but some of these ladies out here, they really have been listening to the echo chambers that's been coming up lately. Now that people are saying you're single till you married, that means disrespectful. Be disrespectful. I can't say anything to you. You're just a boyfriend. You just this. But this is why I said last week, you don't want to play that game with men. You don't. You don't want to play that game with men, because if a man says we're single till you're married, that's going to be a problem. That's why I don't really like this whole, the mindset. I think you're single till you married. You are single till you married. First of all, you are. But how you go about solidifying this thing is what I think is important. You don't just go out here and just smash up everybody, and you don't go out here going on serial dates. You're supposed to date with a purpose. But up until you are married, you are single. But not, I think what's getting lost is you saying that only when he says something to you you don't like, or she says something to you you don't like. Now you throw it in their face, you're not my wife, you can't say nothing, or you're not my man. And that's crazy. But if you run across a woman that don't want to listen to you, that wants to be disrespectful to you, or wants you to prove yourself before she submits, get yourself one of these t-shirts. And then I saw this thing, and then we're closing. I'ma close now. When a man is handsome, educated, financially stable, but still single, what could be the problem? This gonna be real quick. Y'all ready for it? Here we go. I got my list. This ain't that many. It's only like 4. I could probably just wing it, to be honest with you. I could. It's really that simple. It's really not that hard. Pause. Okay, first reason why a man could be, let me put this, I'm going to make this small.
In sickness?
No, not you, this. I'm going to do a little bit of, y'all going to see me produce right here in your face. Pause. So when people come in, they can see this. Okay, so when a man is handsome, educated, financially stable, but is still single, what's the issue? Y'all ready for it? First thing, he may not be ready. He may have just come out of a relationship. He may have come out of something that really damaged him. He wants to take his time. He may be immature. He may still want to play the field. He may still, believe it or not, when you first come into your own and you making all this good money and you handsome and you educated and you financially stable, that's a man in his stride, his financial stride. And some men don't know how to handle that, and they still are out here for recreational use. That's another reason. They're immature. Doesn't make them horrible people. Doesn't make him a horrible man. He's just not ready to settle down with a woman. Okay? That's another reason. Maybe he's recently divorced. Maybe he got some other things going on. And I'm thinking Second reason is he may be concentrating on his career. He may have acquired a new position or leveled up in the company or doing more, having more business acquisitions. And so now he's saying, hey, I really don't have time. Now, I know me. My time is very limited. My time is very limited. As I leveled up, so did my workload. So you're not going to have a whole lot of time to do a whole lot. You're just not. So because of that, you may not have time for a relationship, and that's why you may be single. You may have time for a little recreational time, but you don't have time for a relationship because relationships are work, especially marriages, they're work. And if you are consumed with your career, you don't have time for a relationship. You don't. He's too busy. He's got too much going on. So the tension that you may desire from him, most men, which bring me to this. Pastor Keon said this, and I agree. Pastor T.D. Jakes even said that. Bishop T.D. Jakes said it. If he has all this time for you, then he's really not really out here being successful. Successful men they don't have a whole lot of time. They really don't. Last thing is, he may not run into any decent candidates. He may be single because he ain't found that one for him, or the one that pulled him off the market, or the one he wants to pull you off the market. Maybe. Maybe that's what it is. But I saw something that when I read the comments that the men said in this thing, it blew my mind. And I'm going to show it to y'all when I move this. Here it is right here.
In sickness,
and in health,
to love, cherish, and to obey.
We didn't talk about that one in counseling.
We did talk about that in counseling. Yes, we did. So you want me to repeat that again? You want to just keep going?
I think we can keep going.
All right.
So now you see. When I read the comments that the men said on this thing, I said, oh yeah, this is one of the reasons. And trust me, the comments was lit with those men saying, see, this is why, listen, they would say, this is why I'm single. This is why I'm not interested in marrying none of these chicks, because she got stumped on the obey part, which means obey means being submissive, right? Is that not what that means? Is that not what that means? To obey means to be submissive. Educated men, sophisticated, successful men don't usually gravitate to combative women. They usually don't. Because with my time, the last thing I want to do is come home and argue with you on anything. I know some of you going to say, but what if you do? We don't want to argue. It just means being submissive. And she pretty much told him she didn't want to be submissive to him. And he still went through with the marriage. Dude, it's not going to get any better for you. So when you ask yourself the question, when a man is handsome, educated, financially stable, but single, what's the problem? One of the main problems that I've found, and trust me, I do the homework. I don't just come on here. They are not finding suitable wives. That's the issue. They either too ratchet, too loud, too masculine, too aggressive, too combative, not cooperative, or silverbacks, manabees, hood bandits. That's the reason. And these are the reasons you don't want to hear. But that's what I'm going to put out here. So before you ask yourself why these men are single, you need to ask yourself why they ain't seeing me. Why are they ignoring me? I'm right here. And they're not coming to speak to me. They're not coming and making themselves approachable. They're not approaching me. They're not saying anything to me. Then maybe you should not ask this question, why are they still single? The question you need to ask is, what do I need to do to position myself where these men will see me and want me? And once they have a conversation with me, they will want to have date 2, 3, 4, lifetime. But you ask these questions and you probably in so many ways shift the blame, try to deflect it onto the man. Oh, he don't like me, something wrong with him. When really, it may be something wrong with you. Because the things that we don't like, you've made it where you think we should accept it. We're educated, sophisticated men who have good resources and it's very generous with them. And the very, very eligible bachelors, they're not looking at you because of what? And I feel a lot of times we do not take the time to look in the mirror. And I left this comment, and I didn't post this, but I said this. Before you ask this question, and I'm going to play this music and get up out of here. I'm going to play the music and get up out of here. But before you ask the question, why, when a man is handsome, educated, financially stable, why is he still single? I want you to do one thing for me, ladies. Get up, walk to the bathroom, turn on the light, go to the sink. You can run some water because, wipe your face off and do all of that beautiful stuff. And then I want you to look up at that thing. It's called a mirror. Look at that person and start to analyze the things, the reason why you're still single. And the reason why you're still single would probably explain at least 50% of the reason why this man is single. So before we ask these questions, you need to start looking at yourself. Because if you've not been able to acquire these types of men, then 50% of the reason is you. At least 50. We'll give you 50% on him, but 50% of you. Maybe you don't look the part. Maybe you don't act the part. Maybe you said something, and believe it or not, we read your comments. If I was actually looking and I read some of these comments and some of the things that you say online and some of these people you follow and you agree with, that alone would turn me off and say, no, you are for recreational use only. That's what I would say to you, or say in my mind, not to you, of course. So that's the issue. You can't ask these questions. And believe it or not, I'm believing I work with the singles ministry at church, which is funny. But that's one of the things that I try to stress, that a lot of us, we're single and we haven't reached the point where we can meet and acquire or even attract, as women, attract those types of men that we want. We say we want these men, but we don't know where they go. We don't know what they want. We don't care what they want. You have to accept me for what I want, what I am. You have to accept me. And one thing I can tell you with the conversations I've had with these men on this level, they ain't accepting shit from you. They don't want that. They want what they want. They work their butt off to get where they are. They don't want to have to accept anything. They want what they want. That's just to them, to these types of men on that level. It's almost like going to a car lot and saying, they say, hey, I want this Lamborghini. And they telling you, well, even though your credit is good, you should get this car. I don't want to beat up Pinto. I want this Lamborghini. I can afford this Lamborghini. My credit said I could get this Lamborghini. Why are you trying to push me into this Pinto, saying I should accept this Pinto when I know I qualify for this Lamborghini? That's the way men think. Why would we want something lesser value when we can get something of a higher value? But we got a lot of Pintos and old Buick and Oldsmobiles lined up here. And this is the car lot that you're trying to sell to somebody who wants a Lamborghini. Instead of saying, I need to upgrade to a Lamborghini, you would try to shame this man, this educated, handsome man that's financially stable, into something he does not want. And that will never happen, because you know what's going to happen? He's going to leave a dealership with the sisters, and he's going to go to another dealerships with the Beckys, the Marisols, and the Nia Langs. He's going to leave because he's tired of this seller, this dude trying to sell him lemons. He wants to go to a place where they expect or where they respect him enough to give him the quality that he deserves. And that is the dating market today with men. They deserve better than you are offering. You're not giving them a good deal. So marvel not at the single, handsome, educated man that's financially stable. And if you are with him and he's not pushing it to the next level, you are for recreational use only. God bless you in your ministry. And with that, the end song is playing. Next week, we start to talk about some things, some real deep discussions next week. So stay with me next week. It's going to get real deep. I'm not going to be too much in the funny mood next week because there's some serious things we need to talk about next week. But we're going to have some fun, okay? Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Just leave, no stay with me.
Ooh, this is my show.
Complete. I got mixed emotions, can't make my mind up. Just leave, no stay with me. I'm in complete. I got mixed emotions, can't make my mind up.
I'm a PhD.
Man.
How much proof do you need?